Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to a video that isn't really too related to Team Fortress 2, it's just sort of me giving my opinions on something, and it's particularly relevant at this time now. If you aren't aware, I received my A-level results today. How the education system works in England is you do school, where you have primary school up until sort of the age of 10, 11, 12, something around there, I'm not really too sure. But from what I remember, I think it is around the sort of range of 11 years old that you leave primary school and move on to secondary school. One quick thing to note is that it's mandatory for you to stay in education until you're 16 in the UK now. Another thing that should be noted is if you don't go to school for like a long amount of time, your parents can actually get arrested for sort of not making their child go to school, which is actually kind of a weird rule once you think about it. From what I remember learning sort of back in secondary school, you can either sort of have a fine of up to like something crazy like £2,500 or a jail sentence of up to 3 months, I think it was. It's quite a while since I learned this, but we do sort of learn it back in secondary school. So that's sort of crazy. So it's literally mandatory. You have to go to school up until the age of 16. But yeah, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. So you move out of primary school at the age of 11 and go into secondary school at the age of around sort of 11, and you finish around the age of 15 to 16, where you can either choose to go into sixth form, which is another year at your school, where you sort of pursue A-levels or a BTEC, or you can go into college and do the same thing. That's what I did. I went to a separate college to study A-levels, or you can alternatively go on to get an apprenticeship. And an apprenticeship is basically like training for a job, and you actually get paid for it as well. But yeah, regardless of all this, sort of, that's just a basic rundown of the education system. I got my A-level results today, and before you sort of say, oh, you know, this video is just sort of going to be a rant because you did bad in your A-levels and you're salty. No, I passed all of my A-levels. All of them are sort of above the required grade, which was a D, and that's all that matters to me. As long as I passed, I don't really care. I'm allowed to do them next year. There's a lot of people who aren't, so I consider myself very lucky, and I'm really happy with my results, honestly. I really wasn't expecting to do that well. But yeah, my issue with the system is, when you think about it, okay, school is meant to be sort of like a test to really sort of make the intellectually superior students stand out as opposed to the other ones and really shine a spotlight on those. However, when you put it into perspective, they're not necessarily tested on their smartness. It's literally a over-glorified memory test. You get taught stuff throughout the year, and you just have to apply what you've been taught onto paper, and then that paper ends up giving you your qualifications, which can sort of lead you on for the rest of your life. Now, you're literally being told to remember stuff. You're literally getting taught to remember stuff. It's not sort of about being intellectually superior or sort of like standing out and being smart or having good initiative. It's just remembering. And that's why, in my opinion, sort of like exams and all stuff like that are really a bad idea, because it only tests a certain sort of type of knowledge. It only tests your memory. It doesn't actually test your actual like mental ability in any way, shape or form. It's literally just remembering what you've been taught in class and applying it on the day that matters. Another thing that annoyed me is it was mainly sort of relevant when I was at school, because with college it's a lot more lenient on what you learn. You can pick a BTEC or an A-level in whatever sort of interests you the most, and that's why it's a lot more enjoyable to attend. You get treated a lot more maturely because obviously you're at the sort of adult stage, and it's just a nicer environment. Personally, that's how I feel anyway. But with school, this was especially relevant here, is that you don't actually get taught anything important, like real. Of course you do sort of get taught like English skills or how to read, how to write, how to do basic maths and stuff, but there's so many vital things in life that you aren't taught, like paying taxes or rent, or like generally important stuff for when you do become an adult and when you do sort of need all of these life skills that you're just simply not taught. But then again, you are taught how to write a poem and how to do Venn diagrams and stuff like that. It's literally the most pointless thing, because in my 17 years of living, nearly 18, I've never once needed a Venn diagram in my life, apart from in maths. And sort of when I was at school, I've never needed to apply a Venn diagram to anything. A lot of things I've been taught I've never needed to apply to a real life situation. However, there's many things that should be applied, like rent, like tax, like all these sort of real world issues that are just overlooked by the school system entirely. And I know it's not specifically down to the school system to teach us, and it's sort of down to you for learning and down to your parents for teaching you stuff, but it shouldn't be like that. It should be sort of you get taught this stuff because it's a lot more important than sort of poetry and like a lot of stuff that just generally isn't going to be important in later life. I've never needed to work out the area of a square in real life. I've never sort of needed to work out how many apples Christine will have left after giving 3 to her friend and then buying another pack from the shop. I've never needed any of these things we're sort of taught and made to believe that we're going to need in later life. However, I've needed so many more things that should have been taught that simply never were. So that's why, in my opinion, the education system sucks. I mean, this is literally just an opinion. I know a lot of you will probably disagree, and feel free to tell me what you believe in the comments, because I do really enjoy reading your comments, and this is going to be a really interesting topic to receive some input on. So I hope you guys did all enjoy this video. If you did, please do remember to leave a like, let me know what you thought in the comments below, and that's just about it. Thanks again for watching, guys, and peace.